Hi guys, so you're probably wondering why I poured what seemed like a glass of Sprite just now. Well, this is not Sprite, it's sparkling water. I put sparkling water in an empty Sprite container just to describe what I'm going to talk about. I think that was the simplest analogy I could think of to explain what I'm talking about in this vlog today. Now, things are not always as they seem. Even if it's in black and white, right there in front of you, like the Sprite in the bottle, well, like the sparkling water in the Sprite bottle, doesn't necessarily mean what we're seeing or what we think we can see is the truth. So imagine how much more dangerous presumption or assuming things is. Now, something happened yesterday. I came home, opened letters, and after reading one of the letters, I had those like eye-popping, wide-eyed moments like, say what? Like, huh? Am I reading this? Is this happening? And I immediately assumed that what I was reading in that letter was accurate. And I had no reason to doubt that what I was reading wasn't accurate, wasn't true. Because of the type of document it was, I couldn't imagine it being false in any way. So I immediately got on the phone, and to cut the long story short, what I had read was not only inaccurate, it was incomplete. And it was there in black and white. I read it in front of me, and this led me to assume that, okay, this is definite, this is certain, and I went into panic mode. Now, the way we're designed, our minds have a way of telling us or convincing us that our assumption or our thought is something that is actually the truth, and there could be no other possible explanation or reason for why a certain thing took place or why something happened, when in fact we couldn't be further away from the truth. I can assure you that a lot of my assumptions have been wrong, yes, plain down wrong, no matter how well I think I know the person or the situation. And I like to think that I have good instincts, but it doesn't mean that I haven't been wrong. And there's a simple reason. There's always two sides to the story. Now, quick analogy, another analogy. Like a puzzle has many pieces. When we assume, we only place a couple of those pieces together, and based on that assumption, placing those couple of pieces together, we forget that there's a whole picture yet to create. And I know for me, 8 out of 10 times my assumptions have been wrong, because it's like a partial view. We're only seeing like through the keyhole. It's something that we just really need to be careful with, because it can be costly. And again, I'm going to give you a little bit of experience that I had, or talk about something from my experience. Now, years back, I was approached by a friend. Well, we were kind of acquaintancey friends, if you know what I mean. And so she called me and said she had something on her heart that she felt that she needed to let me know, because she's been carrying it around with her. And unknown to me, for many, many years, she disliked me, to the extent that when she saw me, her stomach would churn. You know that feeling you get when you see someone you don't really like? Yeah, that kind of feeling. She had that towards me. And she, like I said, she felt like this for a long time. And it's funny because we saw each other quite a lot, and not for a second did I get an inkling into the fact that she had a problem with me. Anyway, the basis of her feelings were because she was told that I had said something not quite pleasant about her. I'm not going to go into the details on this vlog, but for the life of me, I could not remember making that statement. I don't see why I should have made that statement. It just didn't make sense. Basically, I know that I didn't say it, but it was like, where would this have come from? I was genuinely like shocked, and I was baffled because I didn't recollect the situation. I couldn't remember when this happened, or when I was meant to have said what I was meant to have said. A lot in life, we don't tend to approach situations, or I don't know how to put this. If we have something bugging us, or we feel that someone's offended us or done us wrong or said something about us, it's very unlikely, or I'm trying to get the words out. A lot of times we just don't confront the situation. Now, if she didn't confront me on the issue, I wouldn't have known how she felt. And that's why I respect her. I respect her for what she did. And you know that saying, what the way they say about unforgiveness is like drinking deadly poison and expecting the other person to die. So if someone's offended you, please, no matter how deep or whatever you think they've done to you, it's better for you to confront the situation. If you can't do it, then just let it go. There's no point in holding on to like so much bitterness, because the only person that you're harming is yourself. Now, if you remember a couple of vlogs back, I mentioned that I was constantly paranoid because I used to think everyone's thinking, oh, look how thin she is, XYZ. And obviously this was all based on my past experience, but that paranoid assumption, is that even a word? Well, if it's not, I've just made it up. Paranoid assumption, it was an assumption, because I don't know if that person was talking or thinking about me, let alone, oh, look how she looks, XYZ. And that paranoia stopped me from doing so many things. It's like, it kind of crippled me. I wasn't able to relate to people properly, and it's an issue I'm still actually working on. I don't know how to relate to people properly. I don't know why I'm laughing. Yeah. So for me, the best thing that I can do at this stage is just not presume. Many times I've been on the receiving end of people's presumptions and assumptions, and it's not nice. It's not nice at all. So one of the worst things I can do is do the same thing, judging based on something that I don't even know is fact or to be true. And we all think differently. We're all different people. We're all wired differently. We all have different perspectives and different opinions. So for us to think that everyone thinks the same way we think is in itself, it's like an assumption. On an end note, because I kind of deviated from what I was talking about, if you didn't hear it from the horse's mouth, then don't presume it to be truth. And facts are not always the truth. The truth always supersedes facts. Facts can change and the truth never changes. So I'll just leave that with you to think about, and don't forget to subscribe or subscribe on the blog for more updates. Anyway guys, until next time, it's one step at a time to becoming confident. Bye. It's like a puzzle. The puzzle has many different pieces, and us assuming is like just taking a couple of those pieces, placing them together, and based on our assumption that, oh, this must be the picture, when we're forgetting that there is like a whole bit of